Wow.
You could just all put yourself on mute. Welcome to Loving Waters Super Full Moon Water Blessing for the 7 days of rest. So welcome everyone. I hope that got you wet enough. And I invite everyone to put yourselves on mute. So welcome to our Loving Waters Super Full Moon Water Blessing, January 1st, 2018. And I'm Shelley Darling, and I'm here hosting this call from Sarasota, Florida, and representing the Loving Waters community in love and reverence for this 7 days of rest. So I just invite everyone to take a breath together. Because here today we're focusing on the recalibration and restoration of our inner waters and our outer waters, to be here for the mother, that divine feminine, and the masculine, just holding that in full embrace, in full love, that aspect of ourselves that is, fantastic at organizing events like this. It's so beautiful. 7 days of the most incredible opportunities and watering holes in so many different areas. So we welcome you, and we have a great, we are going to just step into ceremony. And for those of you that are on the phone, we have a lot of people here from all over the world, and also Elizabeth Rogers one of our Water Guardian Council members is down at the Yuba River live. So we'll have an opportunity to really feel this momentous occasion together, really creating this intention. Or what I love is what came up was, instead of resolutions, restolutions. So we're going to have a great time, and we have some beautiful, beautiful water beings with us. So with that, we will open up our water blessing ceremony. Oops, sorry, 1 second, sorry. With just a little bit about our loving waters, just a little bit about loving waters. So you are stepping in today with us, honoring the water. We are a growing community of water lovers, guardians, and advocates, uniting together in this 2018 in full remembrance of our sacred relationship with water. As water guardians, we celebrate our living water as the source of life on earth. And I think that's enough of now. We just want to begin opening, and we're going to invite Grandmother Abril, who's in Taos, to open our ceremony today with the 7 directions.
Haumraiwaka Nanania sa Ota Win Abril Mondragon. Greetings, my relatives, near and far and around the world. My name is Abril Mondragon, and I'm calling in and being present with you from the Blue Lake watershed of northern New Mexico. Today is January 1st, 8 Noj, which is the balance of the highest intelligence of the feminine, connected to the cycles and movement of our grandmother Earth. So, and the cosmos and the natural lore of nature, which includes our beloved water of life. Wankatanka Tugashla, Unchimaka. Great mystery, source of all life. Grandmother Earth, ancestors, grandmothers, grandfathers, the givers and sustainers, men and women, youth, children, and the future generations. We are gathered here today for the life and spirit of our beloved water. We greet you, water of life, with love, respect, and gratitude, to be in unity and harmonious relation with you. We call upon the many forms of your life-giving nature at this time to be in spirit and be present with us and within us. To the east, we welcome you with love, gratitude, and reverence for the sweet dew and the mists and the birthing springs. To the south, we welcome you with love, gratitude, and reverence for the vibrance and strength of the rivers, streams, and lakes. To the west, we welcome you with love, gratitude, and reverence to the thunder beings, healing rain, thunder, and lightning. To the north, we welcome you with love, gratitude, and reverence for the ancestral life-giving salty, sweet oceans, snow, and glaciers. And above us, we welcome you with love, gratitude, and reverence for the wise ways of the celestial waters. And within Grandmother Earth, we welcome you with love, gratitude, and reverence for the ancestral lifeways of the waters of primordial aquifers. And we welcome you with love, gratitude, and reverence, the song and life-giving nature of water as life that is within us. May all that we share ripple throughout the song lines of the waters for the greater good of life. Aho mitakoyasen.
And now we open with the 3 dimensions of water with Maya Shaw Gale.
Thank you, Grandmother Abriel. And thank you for honoring the water in all the 7 directions. And many of us are familiar with calling in the 4 directions or the 7 directions before ceremony. And it was in dream time that the water spoke to me, inviting me to name the 3 dimensions of water, which you also wove into your 7 directions, Grandmother Abriel. Thank you. And so I call these 3 dimensions to hold us, to embrace us in ceremony today. And I call first of all to the surface waters, the ones we might be most aware of on a daily basis, the rivers, the streams, the lakes, the ocean, the glaciers and the icebergs, the water that comes from our taps, the water that is inside of every living being, all the water that exists on the surface of this beautiful Mother Earth and nourishes and sustains all life. Thank you for your modeling of many forms of shape-shifting and reminding us to honor the state of flow, of resilience, of flexibility and fluidity. Thank you, waters of the surface, for holding us in our sacred ceremonial circle today. And I call to the primordial waters, the deep waters within the earth, in the caves and crevices and cenotes, deep within the underground pools. You, primordial water, have preserved the original sacred geometry of your form of water. And along with that, the pure codes of life and the meaning, the memory of our whole collective ancestry here on Mother Earth. You remind us of the purity that is the truth of who we are. And I call to the celestial waters, the cloud people, the droplets of water in the form of clouds in the sky that bring us the cleansing, renewing rains. And now we know that even micro droplets of you, waters, celestial waters, exist in all of space beyond the earth, even in the sun and all the other suns that we call stars. You connect us to our cosmic identity, reminding us, connecting us to our oneness with the whole universe. Thank you, celestial waters, and all of the waters above, below, and inside of us for holding us in our ceremonial circle today. And I would like to invite all who are listening, if you have a container of water with you, if you don't, if you want to get one, I have just a very simple glass of water here with me today. And I would like to share a practice and we can do this throughout the ceremony, but you may want to do this on a daily basis, to take your water, and I especially love to do this with my drinking water, and that is to take the water and place it next to my heart. And this gives the water a chance to attune to our heart rhythms, our unique vibration that each one of us have. And we can also then send directly from our heart love and gratitude to water. We'll say more about love and gratitude, are 2 most powerful vibrations that we can use to restore water to its purity and to bless ourselves and the water in ourselves. So I would invite you during the ceremony, all of you who are participating, at times or during the whole time, to hold your water to your heart and to be sending it love as we go through the different phases of this ceremony. And sometimes at home, I do this before I drink my water or my tea or whatever. Bless it, allow it to attune to my vibration, and then take a drink. Thank you, water. Thank you, thank you, thank you, water.
Taking a pause in this beautiful space to just take a look at, for those of that you can see, Elizabeth is down at the Yuba River at this opening ceremony. Elizabeth, before I we do this still water meditation with everyone, maybe you would like to just share a little from the river itself, and then we'll all do the still water meditation together. Oops. I think she's not hearing me. Okay. So,
Am I off mute?
oh, yes, now you are.
Okay. I want everybody to just close your eyes for a minute and listen to the sound of the water as well as you can over this technology. It's a very beautiful river. It has great fluctuations because it gets the snow melt from the mountains in the spring. And we get dry summers, so it goes down to a trickle. So its song is ever changing. This is the Yuba River watershed, and it has quite an intelligence. It has made incredible connections with me in my life and communicating her song, communicating her message.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
And one thing to ponder here is as we do our blessing, if all of life, every caterpillar, every elephant, every human, every microbe is born of water, and all life has its own expression of intelligence. Where's that intelligence coming from? Where's that consciousness being born from? Without water, there is no consciousness as life on earth. Beyond life on earth, who knows? But here on earth, this is the consciousness that we carry, and she communicates to herself at all times. So as I sit by the river, I can hold everybody that's on this blessing and really connect the water and the water song to each one of you through your own internal waters, through the saliva in your mouth, through the moisture in your eyes, through the sweat on your palms. And together, that's how we are connected. Thank you all for being here and remembering who we really are.
Beautiful. Continue our ceremony with water meditation. And the invitation is to take a drop either from your bottle of sacred water or the water that you're drinking from, and put a drop in your hand into your palm. Carrying that feeling and vibration of the water. I'll read this meditation. And this meditation came to us from Australia for an event that we were doing. The drop that you hold in your hand is a part of the water which was the cradle of all life. On this planet eons ago, the first rain that splashed down on the hot earth to form the first sea. Each drop in sunlight has risen from the sea in countless ages and fallen from the earth again as rain. The drop that you hold in your hand has been a prism forming myriad rainbows, has traveled underground streams, bubbling through dark caverns, the architect of cathedral caves formed valleys and split granite. The drop that you hold in your hand has flowed down broad rivers, has risen on the sap of trees, and has been the sweet sweat of slaves and the tears of children. It has become the foam-topped waves and deep, unfathomable depths of vast lakes and seas. The drop that you hold in your hand has been part of the great flood. It has been a dewdrop on a blade of grass, a drop that has been pounded through the hearts of whales in blood, and lain in an eagle's eggs, and has traveled in the fluid of a poet's brain and dripped from the wounds of the dying. The drop that you hold in your hand has been trapped in the snows of the Arctic, reflected in the sun in a desert oasis, and refreshed the weary. This drop, unimaginably old, yet fresh and new, is evaporating slowly from your hand to mingle with the air that you breathe, perhaps, or drift in a sun-topped cloud 1,000 feet above Earth. Imagine its journey from your hand. Where will it go? You can direct its journey as it evaporates. Send your consciousness with it. It is the water of life. It is still water. We honor this. This is by Carolyn Way. And with that, we pass this virtual crystalline talking stick to Pamela Durand, who will invoke our space with a song.
As I drink the drop of water in my palm, I am so aware of the travels and trajectory of this water and of the consciousness that we share and how connected we are. And these words have been circulating perhaps for eons, somewhere in a cloud, in a river. But speaking to Shelley just last night and today, I put them on paper from my heart just literally within the past 90 minutes. So they are newborn. From the genesis of an inspiration probably a year and a half ago, I think, Elizabeth. And with this, I take the benediction and baptism of a drink of water. Holy water, flow through me, drop by drop, my pain release. Baptize me in perfect peace. Wash me in the salt of tears. Water wise as cyclones blow, drench us in the truth we know. Rain upon our world of strife. Life is water. Water is life. Moon so full, our loving waters feel your pull. Tidal and true from the dark to the light. We are water, water is light. Holy water, rain of light, crystal river, snow so white. Teach us how to bend and flow, to forgive and to let go. Holy water, flow through me, drop by drop, divinity, loving waters carry us. Love is water, water is love. Love is water, water is love. Loving waters flow through us.
So before we move on to our next Loving Waters Guardian share, wisdom sharing, again, for those who are joining us, Elizabeth is down at the Yuba River in California, live, and I want to just take a moment to acknowledge the life force water that took to really create these 7 days of rest, and that it initiated in Jerusalem and near the old city. And I just want to speak to that waters for a moment, or for that waters, the Gifon Springs, because thousands and thousands of years ago, and the spring is still flowing. The spring fed that city, the city of love, really the city, I feel that it's like the city of love. And this pure source water is primordial water. It comes up from the earth, as many of our springs do. Not everyone. Some bubble right from the surface. So with that, I'm bringing this up also because our next person to continue this water blessing is Charlie Riverman. And I'm going to go and find it while he speaks, but he is also an evolutionary dowser and a grid maker. And he made this beautiful grid showing the connections of those of us on the Loving Waters Council, from the Gifon Springs to many of our watersheds and to Uluru, where we held a sacred water blessing journey 2 weeks this past year. So with that, I pass this crystalline talking stick to Charlie Riverman to share a blessing from his heart into the waters of our collective circle here today.
Oh, I'm just so blessed to be here with each of you. The tears, I'm going to cry. You've touched me. My journey with water began millions of years ago. This is just the latest incarnation. I have died and come back many times, as you have, and it's an honor to be here and bless the water today with each of you. As I say this, the grids that I work and the crystals that I work with are guided from great beings such as yourself. Deep in the waters of the universe, the star water flows, and it reaches us here in our bodies, in our earth, in our thoughts, in our tears. And each of us are so connected through the water that we cannot separate. It is impossible to separate. But we have tried and we have failed, and we have tried and failed and tried and failed millions of times for many untold and unknown reasons. And we keep gathering together in moments like this during the full moon, the first day of our calendar year. The water pays no attention except to our presence. I'm honored by each of you to sit in circle with you in this one drop of water we are now. And as this message spreads out from each of your hearts, from the droplets within your bloodstream, within the pulsing of your hearts, the rest of the world receives this. And it's an honor to be here. The grid that I made on Mount Agamenticus was shortly after going to Hummingbird Ranch, a journey I took for the water to learn a protocol that began in New Zealand by a Maori prophet named Alexander Phillips, where he visioned the mother being separated from the Trinity blessing. And he added it back in at the request of the mother. For it is the mother, the divine feminine, who creates the flow of the waters. As you, who are all embodied in the female gender, well know far more than I. It's to you I honor your life-giving ability through the waters that flow through you. to all mothers that have ever lived, that have ever been, that have ever been blessed with the honor of carrying the water of life. And so I thank each of you for being here today, for touching my heart deeply. And as I began my day, it was interesting. A friend, a poet, a photographer, a man I've known for several years, not personally, but through Facebook, who inspired me many times when I didn't think I could write, or I didn't think I could photograph, or I didn't think I could do anything. And he posted a song, and I'm going to try to find it, the message I have here. It was a song, it was a water, and it was by a pianist, Alain Grimaud, who is a concert pianist. And I posted it on our Facebook page. On, if you listen, it's so beautiful. And her words were, and these were the first words I read of the day or heard of the day, were, "We are water. The majority of our bodies, like the surface of our planet, is constituted of water. Life cannot exist without it. Water is nature's architect, sculpting the contours of the earth." And the synchronicity of arising to that this morning and being here now with each of you just confirms in all of us how precious we are as the water guardians of this beloved planet Earth, this beautiful blue jewel in the sky of darkness, revolving around our sun. And so my response to that video and that music this morning was this, and I will say this as I bow to each of you and thank all of the elementals, all of the spirits and beings of the 7 directions that Grandmother April invited with us today to be here. I say it to every drop of water, regardless of form it holds or will hold now and forever. And I wrote these words this morning. Water is also nature's composer. It drops streams and waves beating the world's primordial rhythms. O beloved, which cannot fail, to carry all life from source to the infinite manifestations of form. Let us celebrate every droplet, every mist, each foggy breath which vanishes, yet remains forever the perfect droplet, symbolic of wholeness and opportunity to remember our unity, not separation. And so, my beloved family, I thank you. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. May my breath fill your hearts with loving water. eternally brought forth from the springs of the stars. Aho.
And now we go back to the Yuba River and a beautiful sharing from Elizabeth, who's at the Yuba River. And then we'll hear from a few more water guardians as well.
Hello, blesseds. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Abril. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Shanti Hart. Thank you, Jim, Petruzi, Gray Wolf. These are people that have felt the calling of the water and have answered. These are our Loving Water Council. And people ask what Loving Waters is, and really it's right there in the title. But beyond that, we're opening a portal to allow the magic to return to Earth. I love what was said about the droplets, and there's a certain magic in the form of a droplet. It's a fourth phase of water in which the electromagnetics of the universe form the surface of a droplet, and it's infinitely scalable. The Earth itself is one drop of water in the celestial waters. She is a closed system. New water can come in. I imagine some water goes out, but for the most part, she is a self-contained drop of water in the universal energy. And what Charlie was saying about, for eons, we've been trying to separate ourselves from this water of life and see ourselves as separate. And it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. We just cannot do it. It's a truth deeper than the human perspective. We will always be part and parcel of the water cycle of life. So this invitation from Loving Waters is a simple invitation to just stop trying. Just accept our unity. And truly, water is in a sacred marriage with the sun, with the earth, Gaia, the atmosphere. I believe that water is the force that makes all this viable. Without water, there is no life. And one of the key phrases that the water taught me, that this Yuba River, beautiful Mama Yuba taught me, and I learned it, I heard it. It wasn't even that I learned it, I remembered it here on the shores of the Yuba River, is that all of life is the infinite creative expression of water. All of life in the universe is the infinite creative expression of water. And part of part of that ceremony of remembrance is to put water first in your life. Have a bowl next to your bed when you wake up. Touch it, feel it, thank it. When you drink water, give your gratitude. When you take a shower, when you swim in the river, it's with immense, ever-flowing gratitude. And as Maya said, love and gratitude are the healing forces of the planet. Teach our children to remember water. Allow them to be water babies and to relish and take great joy just in standing in a puddle. And what ails our species is this point of forgetfulness, that we have forgotten that we are, in fact, part and parcel and integral to the magic of life on this planet. And I truly feel that part of this process of loving waters in bringing back sacred remembrance, we will reach critical mass very quickly. And water will do what she does best, which is rejuvenate, revitalize, and heal. Remember her life. Bring it back to wholeness and unity. We just allow her, we just get out of her way. She'll do the rest. So that's the journey of loving waters that we have all stepped into. Thank you all so much for hearing the call, for coming to this sacred circle, for helping us create this sacred space.
So we'll hear from one more water guardian, and then we're going to open it up before we close this water blessing, which never really closes, it only spirals open, right? It only spirals open. So, and we want to hear from, allow each person to share one sentence of a water gratitude to the waters, and then we'll pour back the waters and close with a beautiful song. So, Shanti Hart, would you like to come and share?
Yes. Thank you to all of my fellow water lovers, guardians, and all of your beautiful sharing that you've done so far today. I'm so grateful to be here with you, and that's what I'd like to talk about, as that all water is connected, and it's all about the gratitude and the love. And so I live in a city, and I have to take a little walk to get to my watershed, which is one of the Great Lakes, Great Lake, Michigan. But what I have a constant connection to is the water tap in my house, and I can just, whenever I feel like it, turn the handle, and I have instant access to safe drinking water. And although I may not think it tastes the best, and I filter it, I even laugh at myself that I do that, because I recognize the gift that I have. And so I am so grateful for this access that is constantly there. And to honor that, I do make it my daily intention to recognize that that is a gift. And it helps me connect to and maintain in a constant awareness of the rest of the world that isn't as lucky. And I first think about the 63 million people in America that on a daily basis are exposed to unsafe drinking water. And I try to honor them and think that somehow will help them because I'm honoring that, that they're having to endure. And in addition, I recognize and honor the 2.4 billion people around the world who literally lack access to clean water and sometimes any water at all, often requiring a walk of 30 minutes or more just to access any type of water, and rarely sanitary or safe. So I think it's important as we honor that all of the water is connected, all people are connected because water is life. It's life-giving and sustaining, and all lives deserve to have their needs met. And maybe we can't offer them water that we just used in ceremony, that we have so much water we can just use it for ceremony, and it's precious. And I just say, let's honor them when we're doing all of our blessings. And I'm complete. Thank you.
Grandmother Abriel, would you like to speak on behalf of water?
Wopelatanka mini buchoni. Mini buchoni pila maya elohe. I want to acknowledge the laughter of water and the tears of water and the flow of water. And with that, I am so grateful and thank you for inviting us all together today. Aho mitaku yasin.
Not muted. So with that, we'd like to open up the call for anyone that feels they would like to share their water gratitude in one sentence. And we will go a few minutes past our time together. So hopefully you can stay on. But with that, I'd like to invite you to share and unmute yourself and put your blessing to water. Elizabeth, if you can hold up your water blessing, or if anyone wants to hold up their bowl of water while these water gratitudes, I have my water here with a crystal inside of it. And let our waters receive the blessing of our love and our collective heartbeat. So the mic is open, the crystalline talking stick is yours, and please just jump in and bless this beautiful water.
I'm so grateful to live near Lake Michigan and to be able to see it and enjoy it every day. And when I miss it, I'm not the same. I'm complete.
Oh, we can all say yes.
My name is Sunshine Sparkling on the Waters. This water started in Rotterdam 2 years ago at the Peace Palace, and it has been seeded throughout the southern states and back up into Canada where I am now. The water sustains me, inspires me, and I'm so glad that I share it with you. I feel the name that I was given was so that I would know that each one of us are sparkles upon the blessed blood of our mother. Sparkle on, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
I am so grateful for the gentle, gentle rains that are coming very soon, coming to cleanse the burnt lands, scorched lands here in Santa Barbara, Ventura area of California. I am so grateful for the cleansing that is happening following the other purification by fire. Oh. Thank you, water.
Much gratitude to the waters of the Pacific Ocean, the San Diego stand, water from the last 12 months of water blessing here in San Diego. So grateful for those that have participated and for being part of this with you all today. Blessings to you all. Aho.
Aho.
Fall into this miraculous field of love we've created here today. The soul, spirit, and memory of Frank as he journeys home to the womb of the universe. Get peace, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And I pour into this bowl every loving waters water blessing I've ever been at, from Australia to New Zealand, to California, to New Mexico, to Nebraska, Sarasota. I just pour this into these waters here. And I feel deeply indebted to the water. And so grateful to the consciousness that is beckoning me home to herself, the fullest expression of the divine feminine here. And with that, I'm so grateful to be connecting every day and today with all of you, all over the world, to be here, to bring our waters together eternally. So we're one. Blessings.
I want to share some lines from Rumi, a short quatrain that reminds me of water and the deep gratitude that I have today to be invited to this deeply sacred circle where I feel the love of the mother between all of our hearts and the bubble of laughter connecting with the salty sweetness of our tears. And this is of the water, to the water. In your light, I learn how to love. In your beauty, how to make poems. You dance inside my chest where no one sees you, but sometimes I do. And that sight becomes this art. I feel like watching you, Elizabeth, today on the Yuba River while I am in frozen northern Canada. The sight of the water has brought me to life, and to know that I am always connected to its mighty rushing river of beauty. And I say aho to all of your hearts for the devotion and the love and the commitment and the knowing that you carry to come to this circle. With so much love and so much gratitude to you all. Aho.
So, Maya, I just shifted. So, I just want to invite you all to the following 7 days before we close, because I don't want to close on this note. The following 7 days, at the same time, we have water wisdom shares and water wisdom teachings from each of our water guardians. And it's a participatory call each day for just 30 minutes. And we invite you to come on and come to Loving Waters to explore more of how you can expand your expression, your guardianship, and steward with all of us this just beautiful presencing of love in water. So we're going to close with an ode to water from Maya, and then we have a song to end this beautiful gathering. So thank you so much for showing up, and just stay with us to the end if you can. And Maya, please, we would love to hear it.
I'm so aware as we participate in ceremony with water that so much of what we bring is our vibration, that we're helping to restore the pure vibration of water, which in its natural state is a beautiful six-sided crystalline structure with a seventh center. And it has been so disrupted by our human intervention. And so part of many things we are doing when we come into ceremony is offering our vibration. And that's through our hearts, the vibration of our emotion, our gratitude and love, through our words, through our toning, our sounds, sometimes drumming or instruments, that we are offering a vibrational healing. And so for me, the words that come through in poetry, for me, are offered in that sense of offering beautiful words of honoring as a blessing of vibration. So this poem I call Ode to Water. How is it, water, that you go everywhere with no obstacles but for the human made? In your softness you swirl and slip around the hard and staid. Stroke the stones as you pass, laughing at their stubbornness. Seek through cracks to find the depths where darkness reigns. And scatter your diamonds in sheets of light across seas and lakes and streams. Shape-shifting into ice, you remodel landscapes like a feng shui master. Move mountains and smooth out the hills. Carve continents into whole new shapes. Never afraid to fall, you trust in surrender. Cascade yourself from heights that would make me swoon, just for the joy of it. And day after day, dance a slow cha-cha with the moon. And when you grow tired of earthbound life, you find wings, float angelic across the sky, masquerading as clouds. Even go so high that you merge with the sun, survive its fiery furnace, who knows how. And best of all, you live in me as blood and breath and flesh, and miracle that it seems to be, you've thus learned to walk and speak and sing. And water, you remember everything you've ever been or touched, and bring those gifts to me so I can also know I am part of all in this whole vast sea, and that I too can trust in its seamless flow. Oh.
We're not hearing it, Shell.
We pray for healing, blessings of the water. We pray for healing, blessings of the sea. We pray for healing, blessings of the river, that they may flow in crystal purity. We pray for healing, blessings of the water. We pray for healing, blessings of the sea. We pray for healing, blessings of the rivers, that they may shine in crystal purity. Uchu no mugen no chikara ga toriko te makoto no daiwa no miyo ga narinata. Uchu no mugen no chikara ga toriko te makoto no daiwa no miyo ga narinata. Uchu no mugen no chikara ga toriko te makoto no daiwa no miyo ga narinata. Uchu no mugen no chikara ga toriko te makoto no daiwa no miyo ga narinata. Uchu no mugen no chikara ga toriko te makoto no daiwa no miyo ga narinata. Uchu no mugen no chikara ga toriko te makoto no daiwa no miyo ga narinata. Te canto fuente de vida divina, purifica y activa nuestro planeta con infinita de luz. Por tanto amor.
Hang in there. Okay, I'm not a technological wizard. I'm trying. Okay. So with that, we love you all. I'd like to invite everyone to take yourself off mute. And we'll just all together sometimes say, water, I love you. Water, I thank you. Water, I respect you. And we'll end this call. Thank you so much. And Elizabeth, if you want to be pouring the water back into the river while we're doing this, we'll close our call for today and our super full moon water blessing.
Thank you all.
So,
Yes, thank you.
and you can just point it right at that Yuba River. I'll do one more last.
Water, I love you.
Love you.
Water,
I thank you.
Thank you.
Water,
Water,
I
I
respect you. Water, I love you.
Love you.
Water, I
Thank you.
Thank you.
Water,
I
I respect you.
respect you. Water, we love you. Water, we thank you.
Water, we respect
We
you.
respect you. So
Thank you,
blessings,
Pamela, for
everyone.
the beautiful song.
We will see you if you come join us. We'd love to have you. Go to lovingwaters.life to find out more about. I'll be posting those wisdom shares from each one of the water gardens. They're amazing, wonderful opportunities to come in deeper. So just 30 minutes coming up. Happy New Year. Thank you to 7 days.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Blessings
Thank
to
you
all.
all.
Thank you.
Peace and blessings to all.
We are water wisdom rising embodied.
We are.
Yes.